My StopTech ST-60 calipers are ready for some new brake pads, so ECS tuning to the rescue. The sport pads are supposed to be what came with these originally in my big brake kit, so that's what I'm going to replace them with because they've been great. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be working on my 2015 BMW M4, changing the front brake pad. So I have StopTechs all around. I was not the original purchaser of these. The original owner of the car was, so I didn't know exactly what was on them. I asked StopTech and these are the pads that they told me came with it. I'll put a link to them with their product number in the description of this video. I just wanted to give you guys a step-by-step DIY tutorial on how to change them yourself. It is really easy with StopTechs. So they have these sport pads. They also have street ones, I believe. If you guys use a different brand or something else in your StopTech calipers, please let me know. I'd be interested. Just leave a comment down in the description. Obviously, the first steps are to loosen your nuts or lugs, raise your car up, and remove the wheels. Before we start with the pads, open up your hood. We have to get to our brake fluid reservoir right under here. So these have little 5mm plastic nuts that you just turn 90 degrees. And then there's one little plastic rivet you have to remove. So gently pry this up with a pry tool. This will just lift off. Just remove this, and here's our brake fluid reservoir. So I'm just going to take a couple old rags and put it around here. And open the cap. And I'm just going to leave this open as we do this because we'll be compressing the pistons, which will push some fluid back into the system. So I'm going to demo this on the driver's side or the left side of the car in the US. I'm going to start by turning the wheel all the way to the right so you get good access to the back of the caliper. So these are really simple. There are 4 5mm bolts that go all the way through. So I like to start on the top because this back plate that we're removing has some springs in there that are pressurized. So as you can see, it comes out really easily. There's a little washer on all of these. I'm just gonna set these down and keep them in order, and I'm just gonna loosen these next 3. Or I'll take them out since they came out. I just loosened the last one because when you take it out, this back plate is going to fall out with it. So this will just separate, and it's really dirty, but you can see there are arrows pointing up, so you'll know how to put it back on. And just like that, you have access to your brake pads. So you can see all of the 6 pistons in here, 3 on each side, that are out a little bit as they hold the brake pad up against the rotor here. So you probably won't be able to just pull them out initially. There'll be some pressure tension going on there. But it should be easy enough just to take your 2 fingers on the edges that stick out and press them into the pistons. You just need to get it a little bit to give you enough slack to rattle them around. And if that doesn't work, people often use some pliers, and I always wrap mine in duct tape and use a rag just to make sure we don't mar up the paint on the calipers. And you can just grab one side and squeeze a little bit. And that'll be enough to loosen them up. Now there's still a really snug fit in here between the top and bottom. Eventually they will wiggle out, and here's our old pad. Just do the same process for the other side. Okay. Now on the right side of the car is where your brake pad wear sensor is, and you can see mine is right here. It's just zip tied up out of the way because these pads do not have the groove in the back of them for the wear sensors. So it's just one of the things, if you're using StopTechs, you got to keep track of them yourself. The car will not warn you when your pads are low. Now the next thing I'm going to do before reinstalling anything is clean these. So I'm just starting with a little water or Windex, actually in this case, because it's what I have available, and clean off the major dirt, because it's going to be a long time, hopefully, before you have this much good access to these. All right, when I'm cleaning in here, I'm gonna also pay special attention to the top of this little ledge and over here, because that is where the pad actually makes contact inside the caliper. All right, we got these shined up a little bit. Now for the harder part of this is we have to get the pistons pressed back into the calipers so that the new pads that are thicker than the ones that we took out will fit in. So a lot of people say they can just press them in with their hands. So if you use two hands, you can press these in a little bit, but they do make tools for this kind of thing. The tool I have, unfortunately, really requires the caliper to be removed so that these can fit between the pistons, and you crank them and it presses them all in at the same time. Now, I tried putting them in this direction and expanding them, but it doesn't really work well with this tool. I will put a tool in the link of the description below that is made more for this. It has two bars that fit in here around the rotor, and we'll press them out, and I'm gonna be ordering one of those myself, because the other ways to do this, you have a couple options. You can do the press by hand method, which some people can make work. Or a simpler way is you can put a pad back in here and apply pressure against the rotor with the pad surface itself and have the back of the plate press that in. So you can see that that pushed our piston in a little bit. So let me give it a little force here. So this is pretty much doing what those tools are doing with the pad that you just took off. And so you can see that that one is pressed in a little bit at least. And then, well, you can feel it moving in as you apply some pressure with your pad. And they should be mostly in. Another suggestion I've heard is to essentially do the same thing with the rubber ends of a wrench or whatever. Just that way it won't be marring up the pistons at all. So you can do that. So I want to do a couple things before I put the new ones in. First, I want to compare the new ones with the ones we took out. You can see how much pad life is left on the one I took out. Not much, definitely time to replace them. So the pads, of course, just slide right back in, and we'll be able to see if I push the pistons in far enough. If not, you can kind of use the new pad to press them all in at once. Feels like the middle one needs to go in a little more. So I just want to test fit it, make sure it's going to go in fairly easily before we put some grease on the back of it. So if you compare the old one, you can see the 3 rings where the piston is going to make contact with the backing plate. So I just like to take a little brake and caliper grease and apply it to those areas. I like this brush in the bottle kind better than the kind of little tubes you squeeze out. It's just a lot easier to work with for me. So I'm just gonna kind of slap some on. Where those are gonna touch. And also remember that the top right here touches the channel that these slide into. So I'm gonna put a little bit up here. And this is just gonna help them not squeak quite as badly. They are race pads, kind of, sport pads, so they will squeak on you some, but not as bad as full track pads, but worse than street pads. So without touching that stuff, I'm just gonna slide it back into the channel, and you can see the top part where it makes contact, and push those in, and that's all there is to putting that in. Now just do the same for the other side. So here is a visual example. You can see when I am exerting force with the pad on that piston, you can see the piston go in. And now they're fully seated in there. Now I'm just gonna take our cover, make sure the arrows are pointing up. Slide it back in here with our springs on it. And I'll just start at the bottom and put the bolt back through and just start it by hand. Make sure that these do not get cross-threaded because there is pressure from the spring. Take my glove off so I don't get these all dirty again. So now you can see, just press on this. Get our other bolts back in. Once they're in, you should be able to start them by hand. Just gonna get them snug for now. So StopTech has a couple interesting things to say. These are the bridge bolts, is what they call them. And I don't know if you noticed in the video, but there is a little bit of anti-seize on the threads of them. Mine still had some, so I didn't apply any more. If yours don't, you might want to apply a little bit. So it says to get these started, but it has a sequence in the order that you should tighten them. And the sequence is 1, 2, 3, 4. It says to tighten them 8 to 10 foot-pounds, but it also specifies not to use a torque wrench because of the anti-seize on them. It would be an incorrect reading. So what it says to do is to just tighten them by hand, and it says snug is tight enough. So I'm gonna do 1, that was snug. 2, snug. 3. 4. Okay. So snug and not over tightened. So I went ahead and did both of my fronts, and as you can see, the brake fluid is visible now, and it is above the max line. What you really want to do is after each wheel is done, go ahead and press the brake pedal in to firm up the pistons all the way out. That way all of the pistons on your calipers won't be pressed in all the way at the same time. So yeah, my brake pedal goes all the way to the floor the first time, and then it firms up. Just use a little flathead screwdriver to pry out the little screen filter in here. And since I am a little over the max line, I'm just gonna pull out a little brake fluid until I am right under the max line. All right, guys, that's really all there is. Put your wheels back on. Make sure you remember to torque down your nuts or lugs. I go to 96 foot-pounds myself. So if you're not already a subscriber, I'd ask you to please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and stay tuned for more M4 content and lots of other car stuff. Maybe go check out my garage build videos. The house is coming along nicely. The garage is about halfway built. And when it's here, I will have a legit diamond donor board for my diamond donors. So consider becoming a member of the channel. I will see you guys next week.